One thing I hear a lot of in surfing various places that discuss photography, I hear this once in a while, is that I'm a disease on the ass of photography or something along those lines. Well, after 3,100 videos, my approval rating on my lens recommendations is basically 100%. You know very well that I've tested an enormous amount of lenses. Sometimes I'll make like hyperbolic statements like, you're an idiot if you don't own this lens. Anybody that has two brain cells know that that is, just funny banter, of course. Let's talk about the disease, and a lot of people agree with me on this. A lot. I've heard Zach Arias make a comment on this. I've heard many hardcore, well-respected photographers comment on this. Photography has a disease, and the disease are hobbyist measurebators. Do you know what a measurebator is? These are the people that can count everything, but they know the value of nothing. They know the value of nothing. Now, here's two aspects where technical photography is really paramount. Like if you're photographing archaeological artifacts, you need the scale out there, low distortion, high resolution. If you're photographing artwork, reproduction work, yeah. All that's low distortion, high resolution, very accurate reproduction. You lay down a white balance card, you lay down a ruler, that's technical photography. Photography is an art form, except for photojournalism. No, even that's an art form, actually. I was just kidding. Paparazzis, photojournalists, not so important. It's about capturing. It's still an art form, so I'm not putting down photojournalism. Photography has a really sick disease, and there are two things that are driving these idiot lens manufacturers, all of them. Not all of them, actually. Right now, there's actually a huge revolution going on. There used to be a thing, like when I was growing up, it was like the only chocolate you had were like those shitty Hershey's chocolate bars. Those, and I'm not a fan of chocolate, really. I don't like candy. I like chocolate about that much. All you have are those shitty chocolate Hershey bars. Ah! And then people realize, wow, there's like good tasting chocolate out there, like the Swiss have it. They like, man, this crap I've been eating for 30 years, that ain't chocolate, that's like processed crap. So, and the same thing happened with coffee. People are like, hey guys, that's actually how your parents grew up. They were drinking horse piss coffee. Horse piss! It actually even said on the can. It was dehydrated, crystallized horse piss coffee. Hee-haw! Remember they sent coffee through the percolator? Yeah. Total crap. These, like Meyer Optic Gurlits are making some triplet, triplet lens design is like over 116 years old. Yeah, the lens has serious distortion, but it makes the most beautiful bokeh imaginable. And they not only sold out of that lens, they sold out of that lens like that, like faster than you can say, we got a new lens, sold! They say, we're going to get 10,000 of this new lens, sold! They're all sold. So there is a revolution going on in photography where people that have brains, hello, people that are smarter than these idiots, realize that, I'm pretty sure photography is something about the image. It's like an art form. Wow. It's not about a bunch of measure-baiting idiots talking about, what about the corner-to-corner sharpness? If I blow this image up to like 60 by 30, the corners are not sharp. You know what I'm talking about? You see these people having discussions about, it's like, this new lens design, Nikon came out with a new lens, and I don't care what it does, it's like, I want to care about looking in the corner of the lens, like we go out of the far corner and the left corner, it's so sharp, it's so sharp! I've seen that stuff a lot. It's like, if you go in the very far corner of this lens, is it incredibly sharp and distortion-free with no chromatic aberration, yes or no? It's like, really? 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 This is what I'm talking about when it comes to measurebators. Does this mean do I like praise, like low-resolution fuzzy lenses? Or like, I think that guy just likes fuzzy old lenses that are cheap. Oh, no. I like some modern lenses that are insanely expensive, and yet really, I like good lenses. I don't care if they're old and cheap or new and expensive. I like it. A good lens or a great lens You know, I'm all about good and great and awesome lenses. I don't care if came out 2 days ago and they're insanely expensive and they're made out of plastic like a Chinese squeeze toy. You're like, hee! You squeeze the lens and it makes a squeaking sound, kind of like a child's plaything. Photography has a disease. Photography is an art form, and it's all about the image. If that means that you're going to stick a screw-on filter on a lens and smear some cat poo on it, meow, you stick your finger in the kitty's butt and you smear it on the front element or a front filter, preferably because you don't want it on the front element. You smear some kitty poo on the front. If that makes the image that you're going for, that is valid. Yeah, but it's fuzzy. Who gives a crap? Some of my favorite images are blurry, out of focus. They're dramatic. They're enticing. They're incredible. What about a Jackson Pollock painting? That shit is, that's like the definition of blurry. It's like, what the hell is that? It's like, that's a Jackson Pollock painting. It's worth $5 million. It's worth more than your house and your 2 children combined if you were to sell them in another country where you could sell children. Art! 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 The Measurebators. It's about the image. These people, they would rather bleach every fine detail out of a lens. It's like, well, they only care about how something looks on paper. It's like, what's the MTF chart? What is the DxO mark score of the, like, does that matter? There's not a single professional photographer on earth that gives a damn about that. Not one. None. Just the mention of those 3 letters. People are going, these people are destroying photography, and they're in so high in numbers that these people that make lenses are fulfilling their desires. Like, well, we need that for a high megapixel sensor. Well, do we really? Who told you that crap? Well, I know actually who on YouTube tells you that crap. I got some lenses that are, some of them are uncoated and 60 plus years old. I've put those on the 36 megapixel Nikon D810. Don't give me crap about we need modern lenses for these high megapixel cameras. The people that are telling you that are lying scum. It's not my opinion that they're wrong. It's a hardcore fact that they are wrong. Go out and buy a 60-year-old Genetessar or some other old Zeiss or Contax lens and stick it on your high megapixel Sony or D810 Nikon. Okay, that's crap. However, these lens manufacturers are all too eager to come out with new crap so that you'll buy it. Old lenses that aren't made anymore, they don't make any money off of you when you buy those old lenses off of eBay. Do you think that makes Nikon happy when you buy an old lens that they haven't made for 20 years off of eBay for 50 bucks? They don't want that. That don't keep Nikon in business, or Canon, or Sony. Oh wait, Sony doesn't make any lenses. So, oh my bad. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. Every lens has its own purpose of use. Okay. If you need a reproduction lens, then you need a reproduction lens. Okay. Most people aren't doing archaeological artifact photography. In which case, the science is technical photography. Okay. Most of you people are not into technical photography. A lot of these awesome lenses, these over-engineered prime lenses, they look awesome on paper, but they're crap in reality. These people, I hear them screaming. I mean, I'll pass through these photography places where they, these talking cockroaches will talk. Huss, huss. They literally say, how can that guy say that stuff? How can he say that an old lens is better than a modern lens? Well, when it comes to ultra-wide lenses, that's true. Ultra-wide lenses, like below 35 millimeter, serious improvements in the past 20-30 years. Zoom lenses, serious improvements all the time. Zoom lenses, yep. Prime lenses, no. 35 millimeters and up, let's say 35 to 300, right? No. Lie. Stinking lie. Every lens has its purpose. People talk about autofocus speed. You know, autofocus speed isn't only camera side, it's also lens side, depending on what's used to drive it. Like this is a screw drive Nikkor. Nikon still makes this lens, and the reason Nikon still makes it is not because of the stupid Americans that think this lens is outdated. It's a 35mm f2 D-series autofocus. This is a screw drive lens, by the way. There's a little flat pin protrusion that actually drives the autofocus of this lens. The Japanese people love the hell out of this lens because they know how awesome it is. You go to the Flickr page for this lens, a lot of the images are from Japanese people. You see, the Japanese people are a lot smarter than Europeans and Americans. They know simplicity is divinity. That's my motto, by the way. It's also their motto. A Shinto philosophy. Hey! It's also a Taoist philosophy. Simplicity. Over-engineering a lens, while it will remove chromatic aberration and a lot of other things, corner-to-corner sharpness, what you do in the process of doing that is you bleach all the character out of the lens, that which gives it micro-contrast, bandwidth, saturation, clarity. The best images that you'll see are these really divinely simplex prime lenses like this lens, the 180mm 2.8 Nikkor, which Nikon still makes for good reason because the Americans are stupid. If it was up to the dumb, idiot freaking Americans and Europeans, we'd like, that's old crap, man, that's old crap. We would have discontinued that lens years ago. The Japanese people still buy the hell out of that. That's really the only reason Nikon still makes that lens, is because of Oriental people that are smarter than you stupid Americans. And I'm one of those stupid Americans, except I'm smarter than they. I own... we won't get into that discussion, huh? There are a lot of lenses that Nikon, not a lot, but there are quite a few that Nikon still makes because of the Japanese people that know better than you do. They do. Not all, but most all of my favorite lenses, if you go to the Flickr pages for those lenses, 60mm 2.8D, 35mm f2D, 180mm 2.8, the 105mm f2 DC Nikkor, the 135mm f2 DC, tons and tons of images from people in Japan. Hey! They know what the hell a good lens is. You don't. Most of you don't. You're starting now to realize, Americans are starting to wake up, realize what the hell a good lens is. Well, some of you are anyway. But I see these people all this like, yeah, meaning me. How could he say that an older lens like this from 20, 30 years ago is better than a modern lens? Oh, it's not possible. It's not only not possible, it's palpably valid and existentially and objectively verifiable. I show people, just go to the Flickr page for like that horrible piece of junk, the Sigma 35mm f1.4. This lens has 6 elements in it, by the way. What is that stupid junk Sigma? That's just one lens. I'm not Sigma. The Sigma 35-1.4 DG HSM Art. $900. So you can get this lens all day long for like $180 used, like new condition. That other lens is 13 elements, so it's over twice as much. Man, that lens looks so milky and flat. Ugh. Everybody that drops those images from that damn lens into the computer, they take the saturation sliders and the sharpness and they go, wah! They drag it all the way to the right. Because that's what that lens outputs. It's over-engineered. It's like, well, that lens is so sharp. It's sharp. It's sharp. That's all that matters to these people. They don't actually recognize anything. That'd be like a moron like judging what a pie tastes like based upon how sweet it is. Oh my God, what's the best pie up on the table? That one because it's got tons of sugar in it. It's like, what? That's not how you judge a pie, you moron. It's like an alcoholic judging wine. It's like, which alcohol's the most? Whatever's got the most alcohol in it. That's what I like. Whatever got the most alcohol in it, that's the good stuff. It's like, I'm pretty sure the wine connoisseurs don't agree with you. You know, I've never seen a wine connoisseur like say, this wine is excellent because it has a high alcohol content. No, things don't work that way. Not in people with discriminating minds that know crap from gold. You see, both of these are knives. This one's a tactical knife, and this one's a Swiss Army. Well, they're both knives, you know. You can't say this. You know, which is better? Each lens has its own use, okay? Well, both of these are 50mm. This is a multi-purpose knife for hunting and not hunting, but backpacking and general stuff. I use this thing every day. Screwdrivers, whatever. Not the corkscrew. I don't use the corkscrew. This is a tactical knife. You know, if you're out in the woods and camping, this is not very useful. This is very useful. You need to realize what it is that you need. When people say, "What's the best lens?" Those questions don't upset me, but it's like, I can't answer that. I need to know A, what your budget is, B, what it is you plan on shooting. Every lens, if you narrow down what it is you need, I can tell you what's the best for that specific budget and criteria. Anyway, that's what's seriously wrong with photography today, are all these measure baiting idiots, and that's exactly what they are. It's a disease. It's like a gigantic festering boil on the ass end of photography. They're measure baiters. They are. You see these people everywhere. Well, it's the corner-to-corner sharpness over there. I want to see. Yeah. I want to see the MTF chart for this lens. Yes. They'll whip out the loops like, I don't see how sharp it is. How about how the image renders it's like, well, his face is pink. Oh, yeah, but it's really sharp, so it's a good lens. That's how these people think. Not literally, but pretty much. It's like, well, how did it's really flat and no contour, but it's so sharp. That's why it's the best lens. These people think like that. Not too smart. Yeah. You feel me? Catch you later. Bye.